Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Edgerton 30K Media. I'm really appreciative and grateful of everybody that's tuned in. I hope you guys are all doing safe. Today we have a 2004 Acura RSX Type S, which we are going to be installing an Aukey Dashcam along with a Passport Escort X50 radar detector. And we're going to wire both devices into the fuse box so it draws power from the ignition. And we're going to try to wire up all the cabling and make sure everything is really neat as possible. You guys all watch my channel. I know every one of you guys out there probably have driven before, at least on the freeway or in the streets. And getting a speeding ticket these days is not fun. It's really expensive. It's about $400 to $500. On top of that, if you're in the United States like I am, you have to go to driving school and pay out of pocket for that, which adds up. So having a radar detector definitely mitigates your chances of getting a speeding ticket. It's not going to completely um, eliminate your chances, but it's going to make it better. And also pairing that with a dash camera records everything you're seeing as you're driving, so you can provide those footages to your insurance companies if you need. But with that being said, let's just go over every single thing that I've bought, and we're going to be using those to install into the car. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get it. So first off is we have the Aukey Dashcam. This records in 1080p, so we're going to be wiring this up to the car, into the fuse box like I mentioned earlier. Let's do a quick unboxing, just take it out of the box so you guys can take a look. This attaches to the windshield with some adhesive. It keeps it for a cleaner look, so yeah, let's open it up. So this is what the dashcam looks like. It's fairly small actually, a lot smaller than my one in my Civic, which is pretty nice. So I don't want it to be cluttered and keep up space on my windshield. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And I'm guessing the lens is right here. So it's going to be mounting like that against the windshield. And SD card goes right there and power goes right there. So we'll set this aside. Second of all, obviously, is the radar detector. This I had for a couple years. I didn't really use it. Was an extra one that was sitting around. So we'll just hook it up to the car. It's the Escort X50 model. When it came out, it was fairly good. Nowadays, there are a lot of better ones out there. But this one, you can program right here to, get rid of your bands that you don't need, such as like the X band or like K band. The ones that you need to pay attention to are the XA band and the POP, which is like the instant pop radar scan. But anyway, this is a radar detector right here. And this wiring kit right here, this is a micro USB wiring kit. It's for the dash camera. So we're going to use this to wire it up to the fuse box, to tap into the ignition power so it powers on and off with the car. So we'll take it out of the box. This comes in the packaging like this. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna need to use scissors to cut this, so give me 1 second. Alright, we are back. We have scissors, cut it open. So it looks like this with all the cabling right here. So yeah, this is the, I guess, ground right here. We're gonna give it power, and then this wires up into the dash camera, which plugs directly into power right here. Goes right in there, and yeah, should be coming on and off with the car. And another thing you're gonna need is the radar mount, the fuse tap. So this actually taps into one of your fuses, so you don't need to splice or anything. This is really convenient because I'm not a big fan of like splicing, cutting wires if I don't need to. If you guys look at the back right here, basically you just get into your fuse box, find an amp that has power, and it taps into your ignition, and it comes on and off with the car. So we'll use this to pair it up to the radar detector. And this is actually the radar mount. You guys can see in the picture right here. It mounts your radar to the rear view mirror. It keeps it clean, and you can run wiring without having to like use the suction cup against your windshield. So I love this setup. I have it in all my cars. last but not least, this is not really needed, but I bought some extra strength Velcro fasteners. This allows you to mount your, I guess your dash camera to the windshield without it sliding on and off. So it's a lot stronger than the one that comes with the actual dash camera itself. So those are the things that you need to get started on the installation. So first of all, we're gonna get started and take off all the panels from the car. So yeah, let's go, let's get it. All right, first we're gonna use a tool, plastic pry tool, to remove this pillar right here, which we've painted before, so be careful not to like scratch the paint. And remove this panel covering the fuse, and it's just 2 screws comes off. This we might or might not remove, I'm not sure yet, but it's this to get access to the fuse box. And yeah, that should let you get in and get working. This is the fuse box right here, so we're gonna find a fuse that gives it power to the ignition, and we're gonna tap into it with our wiring kit that we bought. So this is the interior fuse box of the RSX. There's a bunch of fuses here listed, don't be intimidated. Just find one that you can tap into that turns on and off with the power. So in this case, I used number 14, which is the power mirror. And just make sure that you take your time and go slow and don't rush. So these are all the fuse sizes. Make sure you find the right fuse tab so you don't force it in and bend a clip. Once you remove the 10 amp from your power mirror socket, you're going to just plug that into the fuse tab as shown here in the video. Next, you're going to find a ground for the kit and just ground it up. I found a 10mm bolt that I just grounded it to. Very simple, very quick. Now you're going to plug back the fuse with the 10 amp power mirror tab into the original power mirror socket, and make sure everything is tugged and tight. Now you're going to take the cable and plug it back into the dash cam, and then turn your car onto the 2 position to give it power and see if the camera powers on. And keep in mind, it does take a split second for it to actually turn on, and it should make a beep, and you know that your car's camera is working. Next, remove the pillar and place it aside gently so it doesn't get scratched. And if you notice, once the pillar is off, you have all this space to work with. Everything is zip tied up and taped up, so when you put the cable back, you want to make sure that everything is also tucked neatly away. That way when you put the pillar back, it doesn't hit anything or it seals correctly. After you wire in the radar detector, you're going to get 3 or 2, doesn't matter, zip ties. You're going to tie up these wires that are dangling right here. Just make sure they're all neat. A good tip is to take a long extension bar and get some electrical tape or some masking tape and wrap the connector around the braking bar so you can fish it through a hole from below the car up above, so you can grab it with your other hand, because it's really hard for you to use one hand to grab the cable because you have no space and there's no room for you to move around. So this step saves you a lot of time, and you don't gotta scratch your hands up.
Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend, for it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever brave. Memories like this never end, no they don't